They jamming, aren't they? Wow, I wish you could see the video. All right, it's 8 o'clock. Gonna wind down. We're gonna have some fun tonight, y'all. Go ahead, brother. Woo! Woo! Yes. Yes. They jamming, folks. They were jamming. Did you all like that little intro? I thought I would mix it up a little bit and kind of bring it in a little differently, right? I'm excited about tonight's topic. You didn't know you could predict the future, did you? Yeah, I know that. We're getting this thing together here. All right, where we at? Facebook Live. Come on. Yeah, it's going to be good tonight, guys. I've had an awesome day today. Spoke with some colleagues and, who doing some similar kinds of things. We're getting ready to team up, bring this thing to you. All right, where is it at? Yeah, and it dawned on me. This is a thought that I've been playing with for a minute. And I decided I'll go ahead and speak about it tonight. It's really all around preparation. But let me go ahead and give it to you and see what you think. So, are you loving this weather or what? I mean, think about this. 70 degrees, February the 8th. Wow. It's amazing. Amazing. Under any other circumstances, I'd have been out playing golf today, but I actually worked today for a few hours. So I wasn't on the golf course. Well, for whatever reason, my Facebook is not coming up. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. We got an audience built. Let me see who's here. Shout outs. 4 people are watching. Denise, thank you. Hey, Tamela Wilson, how you doing? Tamara, how are you? LaRon, Jermaine King, what's up? How y'all doing? We're getting ready to have a good time tonight, right? So, did you show me some love if you like that music? If you like that little intro, how they were playing and jamming and doing their thing. If you like that, show a little love. Send some hearts over the line so a brother can know you appreciated it. I might do a little better and have somebody else playing the next time I come in. You know, the stuff gets exciting. So, tonight's topic, did you know, let me see if I got it right. Bet you didn't know you could predict the future. All right, who's texting me? Don't be texting me while I'm on broadcasting live. But I saw a heart. Thank you, LaRon. All right, thanks, Jamal, for sharing. I appreciate that. Hey, guys, all the love you can give, I greatly appreciate. Am I in? I'm hyped up tonight. Let me share something. Let me see who else. What else we got going on here? All right. Very good. You're live. DJ Frank Shaw's listening show is watching. Hey, guys, I really appreciate the love. So I'm going to get right into it. Bet you didn't know you could predict the future. So I guess you guys are wondering, what the heck is he talking about, predicting the future? Well, let me share something with you. Here's what I found about money, or about dealing with the subject of money. And it's crazy because you grow up with all kind of cliches that really move you away from this whole idea of money like it's something like a boogeyman. Look, they say money is the root of all evil, right? But the scripture that they're really quoting says the love of money is the root of all evil. So money is not the root of all evil, it's the love of it. So biblically what the word is saying is that when you put it before God, nothing good can happen. Well, that's the case in every aspect of our lives as Christians. For those of us who believe in the God, who Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior, right? But think about this, right? God gave some very specific instructions, and one story comes to mind is the 3 individuals with the talents. And he gave each one of them talents, and they went out, and you guys know the story, so I'm going to leave that for my good pastor friends, because they could probably do it so much more justice. So I'm going to leave that alone. But if you check out the story, it'd be interesting as to what happened to the one who hoarded it and did nothing with it. Wasn't considered a good steward, and God took it away and gave it to those who did something with it, biblically. But now, in terms of predicting the future, right? So when I got into this thing and I began to not be afraid of my money and not worry about what people thought or how it would change me and how it would be judged, when I got away from that and stretched out on a little bit of faith and belief that what I'd been doing really sucked. My life wasn't what I wanted it to be, although I had all the things that made it look such. I had the car, had the clothes, had the jewelry, I was traveling. I was doing a lot of things that on the surface looked like I was really making it happen. Now, and I made a great salary. I was young, 23, 24. I'm making high 5 figures, 6 figures income annually. Folks, I was balling. This was back in the 80s. So, a lot of you folks are 6-figure folk now, and that's cool. But I was doing it 30 years ago. 30 years ago. So I was kind of out there really by myself. So it forced me into a whole new group of people. And the money I spent to keep up with those people, it really cost me dearly. Why? Because I didn't have knowledge and I didn't know any better, I was spending that money as soon as I got it. And you guys all hear me talk about it. When you get money and you don't invest it, right? What do? You murder the money. You murdering the money. What do I mean by that? You don't give it any chance to live, survive, pay you for all your efforts. And the way you do that, folks, is through saving or investing, right? So here we go. You didn't know, I bet you didn't know that you could predict the future. So how do you predict the future? Well, first, what you will do is you'll look at where you are, and you'll look at where you want to be 5 years, 10 years, 20 years from now, whether that be retirement, college fund for kids, whatever the case may be. You'll decide where you want to be, and you'll look at the current income that you're bringing in, and with paying off all interest-bearing accounts that are credit cards, loans, car loans, furniture, student loans, mortgages, all that. You look at that, and you, based on those expenses and that debt, and based on where you determine you want to be, you come up with a plan. So now, when I was $88,000 in debt, $88,000, right? It floored me when I found out about it. So, and how did I find it? I wrote it all down. Folks, that was a tough night. So $88,000. So what I did was I looked at my money and I said, if I lived at the lowest expense cost to what I bring in every month, if I lived at the lowest, and the lowest was $850. So what did that mean? I found a room. I stopped dating. I didn't go. I rented movies, or at that time I was Netflix had just started. All that stuff, right? If I wanted entertainment, and even that I did on a schedule. And so basically, when I looked at what I had, I divided it into 88, and it told me when I would be out of debt. It told me when I would be out of debt. Now, I always say, if you have a predictable income, I can help you move from ordinary to extraordinary, right? I can help you decide or determine where you're going to be within, 3-6 months. Well, in my case, my plan was a 3-year plan. I executed it in 2.5 years. I bought back 6 months of my financial life. And here's the thing I wanted to say about that. When your finances in order, it's very, very interesting what I'm going to share with you. When your finances are in order, guess what? There's a whole lot of order that begins to show up in your life overall. Let me tell you why. Because as Anthony Robbins says, every discipline has multiple rewards. So what does that mean? Well, when you endeavor that you're going to be on time, or you're going to be responsible, or you're going to take care of your responsibility, well, you don't endeavor that in one area. That habit or behavior bleeds over into other areas, right? So now what happens, there's a multiple benefit from that one discipline. So as I began to become disciplined in my money, and why my money? Because that's where my pain point was. It was money that I didn't have, or burden that I had on my shoulders as a result of this money, or what I was trying to do at the time, purchase a home, that was driving, it was my reason why it was driving my behavior. So what happens? I buckled down. So now I stopped dating. I become disciplined, because dating, let's face it, guys, if you're taking somebody out, whether it be your girlfriend or you're dating, the kind of the understanding, unspoken, is you're going to cover all of that. You're going to take care of it. I don't know if that's necessarily, you guys, this new age dating folk may do it differently now, but back then that was how I was kind of raised, right? So now there's a cost. You go to the movies and the movie costs $7. I'm going back to 1990s, right? $7, that's $14. You go buy popcorn, that's and Slurpees or slushies or some nachos or whatever case may be, that's another $10. You more than likely after you go to the movies, what do? Go to dinner. So you end up spending $80, $90, $100 per night out, per date, whatever the case may be. You're gonna be broke. You're gonna be broke. So predicting the future. If you take your current situation, let's just say for round numbers, because I need math to be easy, because I need this thing to flow. Stay with me, y'all. Stay with me. Hey, look, show some love. Let me see some things going across the screen. Show some love, y'all. I'm looking at my screen right there. Y'all can't see this. Show some love. Where the hearts? Where the thumbs up? Come on, where they at, y'all? Anyway, all right, good. So listen to this. Let's say you make $50,000 a year. So I'm going to do it like this. I'm going to just $50K. And you are 30 years, or let's say you're 45 years of age right now, 50 years of age. And right now, when you look at your bank account, you look at your 401K or your TSP or your 403B, whatever alphabet soup retirement you got, right? Okay. When you look at that and you don't have enough money that you can retire or anywhere close to what you can retire with, right? And you've been working 20, 30 years. So you make $50,000 a year. You're 50 years of age, right? So you're 50 years old, and you make $50,000 a year, right? So let's do this. Let me get this out of the way a little bit, right? Okay. $50,000. So let's say you're going to retire at 65. So that would be 50,000 times, I said 55, I mean 65. That's 15 years. So times 15 years. That means if that was 100,000, that'd be 1.5. So that's 750,000. Now stay with me, folks. That's right. You got to hear this. You got to get with me on this. Share. Do me a favor. Pick your phone up. Right there at the bottom it says share, and in comments tell your friends you have got to see this. I'll go back over it if enough of you share it. You got to see this. Folks, you are killing your money. Thus you're killing your future. Here's the crazy part about that. You're buying cars, you're buying clothes, you're traveling, you're doing all these things, and you're doing it at the expense of preparing for your future. Does it feel bad when you go buy a nice outfit? No. It don't feel bad. Does it feel bad when you go to the dealership and buy that car? It doesn't feel bad, but you just bought a depreciating asset. Shouldn't even be called an asset. It's depreciating, right? Why is it depreciating? The value is lost. 10 to 15% of the value is gone the minute you walk off the showroom floor, right? So it feels good, but it really is not good for you. You know, so if you make $50,000 a year, okay, you're 50 years of age, you're going to retire at, let me use another color, right? You're going to retire at 65. So for those of you who are sharing this, and they're not on the line yet, right, but you sharing this, you got to let them know. 50 years is the example we're using. You're retiring at 65, right? You make $50,000 a year. You're currently broke. You don't have anything set up for your retirement. So you got $50,000 a year times 15 years. This is going to blow your mind. This is going to blow your mind. Got to figure out which one of these pencils I'm going to use, right? It's going to blow your mind. You have earned $750,000. Is that stupid or what? That's crazy. That's crazy. Folks, if you make $50,000 a year and you're about to retire in 15, did I do that right? Did I actually do that right? Somebody do the math. Let me know. It's 10 people on the line right now. Thank you for sharing. Thank you. Show some love. Show some love for a brother. Share the video. If I got the number right, share the daggone video. All right. Look. So check this out. $50,000. You're 50 years of age. Is $50,000 what you make a year? You're 50 years of age. You're going to retire at 65. That's 15 years from right now. $50,000 times 15 years is $750,000. That's $750,000 of $1 million. Folks, it's a lot of money. The point that I'm trying to make is that money generally is not people's problems. Money by itself is not people's problem because most of us are making money. Those of us that are working. I don't care whether it's $25,000 or $250,000. You're working and you're bringing in revenue, right? So in 15 years, right here in front of your eyes, $750,000. Now, if the previous 15 or 20 years, from the time you were 15, 35, if the previous 15 years you were making 50, and you got zero right now, you got a big goose egg, you got zero, right? Last 15 years. Folks, stay with me. Please, stay with me. You got to stay with me on this. The last 15 years, you made $750,000, right? And you got zero. $0. If you don't change something, let me slow down a little bit because I'm a little hyped. me slow down a little bit. If you don't change something from the last 15 years to the next 15 years, what makes you think this will change? That goose egg, that zero. It's not going to change. It's not going to change. Folks, you can go to church, you can pray about it, you can go in your closet, you can go on your knees, you can cry to God all you want. If you don't do something different, this is faith without works. If you don't do something different, those prayers are not, as you're praying them, they're not going to change because you're not willing to do the work. $750,000 is what you got in your future if you're making $50,000 a year. Okay, so some of you all are listening to this, you might be in rural America and you might only be making $30,000. I don't know, do the math. If you're making $30,000 a year times 10 years, that would be 300. Half of 300 is 150. That's $450,000. So if you're making $30,000 a year times 15 years equals $450,000. That's still a lot of money. But guess what? If you do the same things that you did the previous 15 years and you got zero, what makes you think it's going to change over the next 15 years and you got zero? What makes you think it's going to change? What makes you think you're going to change? The only way that it changes is when you do something different. And so I'm going to show you something. I'm going to give you an example. It's a pathetic example. And then I'm going to cut this thing short. I'm going to let you guys get off the phone, get off the line, because I don't think you all are real excited. I don't see no action taking place. I don't see no shares. I don't see no thumbs up, no heart. I ain't feeling the love. But I'm going to just share this with you and I'm going to get off the line. I'm going to get on out of here. I'm going to stop wasting your time. Right? This is a pathetic fact. And I'm going to go ahead and get transparent. From the time I was 23, Larry King, 23 years of age, I was blessed. I was making about $89,000 per year. Some of you all know me. You might remember those days. I was crushing it. A couple years later, I busted the six figure. So what I do is I use a nice round number. So let's just use $100,000 as an average. $100,000 per year. So we take $100,000 times 17 years, because that's how long, when I realized I was broke and it was pitiful, right? How much did I make? That's real simple math. Somebody jotted in. Let me see if you guys are communicating with me. Somebody said it's not a waste of time, not at all. Thank you for watching, guys. Darren Kroon. Sylvia, how you doing, Sylvia? Oh my God, one of my favorite clients. She is awesome. This woman rocked it. She took this plan and went berserk with it. Darren Kroon, hey man, how's it going? My favorite photographer. Delvin, much love, baby. Angela, thanks for sharing, guys. Thanks. Frank Ski, what's going on, baby? Cheryl, out in Nebraska. Jeremiah. Hey, look, guys, keep sharing, because this is powerful stuff. Even if your friends don't see it tonight live, this is powerful stuff. You get to predict your own future. Angela, thanks for liking the video, sweetie. I appreciate that. Do me a favor. Share it now. Share it. I appreciate that. $100,000 a year times 17 years. So from 23 to 40 years of age, I made $1,750,000. $1,700,000. Now let me tell you something. So 40 years old, 1.7 million. So is that crazy or what? I want to make sure you can see this. Is that crazy? Shoot me some love if you think that's crazy. So from 23 to 40, get this. I earned an average of $100,000 a year. $100,000 a year. But look, I was living a life. Things are nowhere near as expensive today as it was back then. Right? Everything was cheap. I was balling. Right? $1.7 million. And guess what I had at the end of 23 years. Negative $88,000. Is that crazy or what? You couldn't have told me. I knew it felt bad. I knew I didn't have a lot of money, but you couldn't have told me that it was $88,000. When I wrote that number down, the first thing I did, and I'm gonna go ahead and admit it, I was so bewildered. I was so thrown by it. I started crying. Let me tell you why I started crying. Because there was nothing that I knew that could get me out of this. There was nothing that I knew that could get me out of this. $88,000. I made over $1,700,000 in 17 years, from the age of 23 to the age of 40, and I was $88,000 negative. Now, some of you guys may not have made that kind of money, and maybe the numbers are bigger than where you are, but let me share something with you. If right now your assessment is that you're at zero, it's no different. It doesn't matter that I made 100 and you're making 50. It doesn't matter that I made 100 and you're making, 90. It doesn't matter I made 100 and you're making 150. If the end result is the same, you broke, it's time to do something about it. Because if you don't do something different in the next 10, 15, 20 years that you did from the last 10, 20 years, zero or negative is going to be what you end up with. I murdered the money, folks. I murdered my money. Now, I had a lot of great steak dinners and lobsters and, emu and dolphin and sharks and, all kind of, I done ate every exotic food. That guy Zimmerman, that bald-head guy Zimmerman, I used to go places just to eat the exotic food of the natives. Everywhere I went and dealt with the natives, and I ate their food and I got into their culture. Now, guess what happened when I ate that food? I'm going to get a little real with you. Come on if you want to hear the real. I'm going to get real with you. Guess what happened when I ate that good old rich food, that this $1.7 million, guess what happened when this $1.7 million, come on, share the love, because I'm getting ready to give it to you raw. Some of y'all might already can imagine what happened when you eat good, rich food. Come on, where the love at? Bring it on. Come on. I'm going to tell you what happened with that good, rich food that $1.7 million bought. Now, don't get me wrong. I didn't spend $1.7 million on good, rich food. But good, rich food was a part of it, right? You understand what I'm saying? Guess what I did? I went to the bathroom like most of y'all when you eat some good food. I went to the bathroom and I had one of them powerful moments. You understand what I'm talking about? That's right. I crapped it out right down the toilet. Literally, a part of my $1.7 million, this good life that I thought I was living, all this great food and spending all this money, I crapped it right out. Went right down the toilet, literally. So much so that I end up negative right here. So how do you predict the future? The first thing you got to do is, in order to change your future, you got to change your mind. You got to change your thinking. You need to grab a coach who can help you change your thinking, change your mind, and create a plan to help you live the life that you desire. Because you will never get the life you deserve. Folks, it's a myth that you deserve this or you deserve that. The only thing you deserve is those things that you desire that drive you enough to change your behavior to have it. That's what you will get. You'll get what you desire based on the way you conduct yourself in an effort to get it. I may have said that backwards, but I think you all understand what I mean. This is real talk, real time, it's live. This is no joke. I'm not pulling any punches. I'm putting myself out there. Folks, this was some stupidity. This was pure ignorance. This right here is just pure ignorance. Lack of knowledge. There's a word that says my people perish for lack of knowledge, right? So, 1.7 million. Now here's the part that's crazy, right? And I'm going to tell you about, and I'm going to do this because this is all a part of you being, I know y'all hate to see me erase this because it's unbelievable, right? You wanted to stay up there a little long, rewind the video, right? So now, fast forward to, I end up getting a job, I make $57,000 a year. $57,000 per year at the Library of Congress. LOC, as is affectionately known for those of us that work there. On a $57,000 a year job salary, I eliminated, right? I eliminated or erased. Eliminated is what the heck I did, so I'm going to call it eliminated. That's that hooked on phonics, y'all. $88,000. Stay with me. I see I got one new person. Thank you for joining. Thank you. God knows I appreciate when folks show up. 88K. I'm going to put it just like that. I eliminated 88K off of a $57,000 a year job. Now, stay with me, right? It took me 2.5 years. Remember I told you that my plan was 3, but I bought 6 months, so I did it in 2.5 years, right? And so 2.5 years. Now, here's the part that's really, really crazy. 18 months later, right? You all not going to believe this. That's right. Get ready, because here it comes. Get ready, because here it comes. Do I sound like an Earth infomercial? Do I sound like that guy who's selling those knives or something? Folks, I'm selling you some life. This is life. Because the difference between here and what took place over the next 18 months, right, is life-changing. This is from ordinary to extraordinary right here. This is from pain to extraordinary, right? So here's what happened. 18 months later, that's basically, I'm going to translate it for you. 1.5 years later, right? Come on, watch this. Let me show me some love. Give me some love. Let me see who's out there. Talk to me. That's right, discipline. Somebody said discipline. You nailed it. It took a lot of it. You nailed it. A lot of discipline. Check this out. 18 months later, a year and a half later, 18 months later, this is how unbelievable this stuff is. I can't even make it up. I can show you the PDFs to prove it. 18 months later, my net worth, $750,000. Now watch this. Watch this. Cash flow, meaning money I brought in every month. Cash flow equal $12,000 per, stay with me, $12,000 per month. Is that incredible? 18 months later. I'm not that much smarter than most of you. Here's where I differ. Here's where I'm probably different. And I'll say this. This is one of the things that I stand on. I believe that there's no one out there that'll outwork me. I believe there's no one out there that can be more focused and disciplined and committed than I can. And let me share something with you. I know a lot of you have been on your jobs for 10, 15, 20 years. You've never been late. You show up on time. You'll work extra if they ask you. But you know the difference? The difference is I get the same damn 100% commitment, discipline, hard work, dedication, blood, sweat, and tears for my future. So when I've read these books and I got shut down on every turn with people ripping me off, and I knew that there was a better life, I got focused, and that's the reason why I stopped dating. For those of you who know me, you know dating was one of the things I did. For those of you who knew me, being slick, having nice gear, and I'm not talking about some stuff you went at the time, Harold Pinner or Cavalier. I ain't shopped at them stores. I shopped in boutiques. All my suits average $750 a suit. My shoes average about $275 each. Skins, gators, lizards, crocodile. I had it all, I thought. Now let me share something with you. I don't own a fraction of that mess. You see me now, some of you be hard-pressed to think I had a dime. But let me tell you what I started buying. I started buying silver and gold. I started learning how the stock market worked. I started, my big thing was real estate, right? Silver, gold, right? That's what it was. It was life-changing. Life-changing. And so, get this. This is the piece I want you to wrap your head around, because I know you guys are smart people, and I know I'm bearing my soul and I'm telling you all my business. But the really smart ones of you out there should be asking this question. What on God's earth took place that after 17 years, he was $88,000 in debt? 2.5 years later, after gaining this knowledge, he eradicated it. He erased it. I killed it. I blew it away. I put a big to it. 2.5 years later, a year and a half from that, 18 months, 1 year, 6 months, I had a net worth of $750,000. I was cash flowing $12,000 a month. Folks, let me tell you something. $12,000 a month feels real damn good in your pocket. Now, the reason why the rich keep getting rich and the poor keep getting poor is because what I did with this $12,000, I bought more assets. I bought more silver and gold. I bought more houses. Right? And then I made a critical mistake. I made one critical mistake. I'm not going to share that with you tonight. But I made one critical mistake. And for those of you who show up tomorrow or the next day or next week, remind me. By then I might not mind sharing that. But the big question is, what on God's earth did you do? What changed between being in debt and then having a mind to sit down for 2.5 years and pay somewhere close to $3,000 a month, right, on debt to pay it off? And then a year and a half later, what changed? And I'm going to share with you folks. It's real simple. And I'm going to close this thing out. It's real simple what changed. One, I had a big enough why. I was sick and tired of being sick and tired. I was sick and tired of living my life with all this daggone money, all this brain power that I was gifted from God, just like you, with, and I was broke. It was sinful to have earned that kind of money and to still be broke. So you know what changed? I changed my damn mind. I changed my mind. I changed my mind And in order that I might change my life. Please excuse the language. I don't mean to be vulgar at all, but I changed my mind. Folks, and not only that, I allowed myself to be guided by a plan. There's a saying that if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. It's absolute. There's no two ways about it. If you don't have a plan right now, then you may as well hang it up. Because you're going to be flying by the seat of your pants. You're going to be flying by the seat of your pants. And that's not going to give you a good outcome. So you got to change your mind. What does that mean? I had to change my way of thinking about money. I had to change the way my relationship with money. I had a really bad relationship with money. It felt good because I had shiny, big, pretty things when I rode by. People ooh and ah, and they looked and they stared and watched as you rode by. That and a bag of Doritos will get you nothing. Right? All right, folks. I'm gonna call it a night. You got me all hyped, pouring my heart out. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna leave this with you. If this stuff makes sense to you, if it makes sense to you, I want you to text. What I ask you to text? Text future. Future. Your future. Just text the word future. Right? Text the word future to 301-250 future to 301-250-1088. Let's start working together so I can put together a plan for you. And folks, what it includes is a whole bunch of conversation about the way you used to think, the way you're currently thinking, and the way you're going to need to think in order to achieve the goal that you desire for your life. Folks, I want to thank you again for joining me. You guys could really be anywhere doing whatever, but you chose to spend this time with me. I don't take that for granted. I don't take it lightly. I'm going to ask one major favor of you. Looks like there's about 10 or 11 or 8, 9 of you folks on the line. Do me a favor. Hold your phone up for me, please, and just share the message. You never, ever know. This might not be for you. It may not be for you. And that's cool. But you never know who you know that may be suffering in silence. So I'm going to ask you to, if you just take your phone, and if you like what you heard tonight, take your phone and share it. Share it with your friends and your family via Facebook. That way it's not a direct thing. You're not pushing Larry King or Everyday Wealth System. But this may not be for you. But you never know whose life you could change through a share button. A lot of people are suffering in silence. And you know what? They don't even know it. They are as baffled and bewildered. I asked one of my clients, I met 2 years ago, a client, and I said to her, so when is your plan to retire? She says, I don't ever plan to retire. I said, really? I was kind of shocked by that. I was like, really? You don't plan to retire? No, I'll just work till I die. I got all these bills, and, I go to work and I pay my bills. And I said, so you don't have a plan that has you kicking back and knitting for your grandkids or traveling or volunteering? She's like, nah. Wow. Guess what? 2 years later, she's probably about 8 months from being debt-free. There's a different plan. Folks, most of us don't believe it's for us, that it can happen, but it can. And so having said that, again, I want to let you know that there is life after debt. And if you have a predictable income, meaning you earn a weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly salary, at Everyday Wealth System, we can help you put together a plan and move you from ordinary to extraordinary. And you can live the life you desire and deserve on your terms. Thanks again. God bless. Have a great night. I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you.